Yeah, welcome to the Five Reasons Sports Post Game Show, aka the Post Up. I'm your host, Royal A. Shepherd. But as you see in my name, today my name is Shanta's son. It is Mother's Day, so I want to first off give one happy Mother's Day to my beautiful mother, Shanta, to my wife Eunice, to my daughter's mom, Candace, to my sister, Brichelette. You guys want to give out your Mother's Day shout outs before we move on?
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
I love my mom so much.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day, Mom, Grandma, everybody, all the mothers out there.
Yeah, my mother's the GOAT. Simple as that.
We can debate that. We can have that.
I was
GOAT
about to say
conversation.
we can talk that out. We can talk that GOAT conversation now. Guys, today we saw a very interesting contest between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, a game in which both teams essentially needed for positioning when it comes to the playoff race, and a game that looked to be in hand in the first half but got close in the second half. I was planning on getting on here and embarrassing my mom had we lost that game. I said that to you guys before the show. I was going to get on here and curse a whole lot, but we did not lose. So we're going to start with my man, Ricky J. Mark. Ricky, give me your thoughts on the game today, bro.
The Miami Heat are at their best when they play team basketball. Simple as that. You can tell by the stats. You know, when Bam Adebayo has 20 or more, Jimmy has 20 or more, Ariza really brings it to the table. You have Duncan Robinson shooting very well from deep. He had 6 threes today. Goran Dragic wasn't in double figures, but he gave you 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists, and he was always on the attack. So ultimately, when the Heat are aggressive, when they are moving the ball around, they're able to get that 20-plus point lead that they almost squandered completely in the fourth.
So we got my man Jonathan Robinson multitasking today, stepping in for our man Manny as the producer. So he's putting up your comments. Be careful what you say to him. Jonathan, tell me what you thought about the game today.
Yeah, I thought we had an absolute excellent first half. It was one of the best, halves I've seen for Miami Heat basketball. It looked like what we did a lot of last year. Kendrick Nunn was hitting his shots when they were giving him room for the pull-ups. He was hitting his shots. Bam, not as aggressive, but he started off the game decently, getting a couple of free throws. Duncan Robinson was hitting. Jimmy was keeping everything steady. Everybody was hitting on all cylinders. The bucket was going in. The ball was traveling with energy, and I thought the first half was great. Going into the third quarter, Boston made that run. Fournier just absolutely torched us. I think he had 14 points in that third quarter alone, and probably in the first 3 or 4 minutes, honestly. But Jimmy again came back, settled us down, did his thing, brought the lead back up to I think above 21. And then comes the fourth quarter, and then Boston comes back with another run. And if we don't have Jimmy and Jimmy doesn't hit the shots that he hits, I mean, we lose this game. Jimmy Butler is the absolute sole reason that we won this game. Jimmy Butler put this team on his back and carried us to a Heat win. So, and I'm glad we had Jimmy Butler. He had a hell of a game, almost got a triple-double. And, yeah, man, thanks for Jimmy. We got this dub tonight. We got him again in a couple days.
So we want to thank Noel Leon for the $2 dono. He said these were the worst refs I have ever seen.
Yeah, you've been watching for 2 weeks then.
Yeah, Ramakan, read the private chat. But yeah, I think you made great points. Let's go ahead and switch it to my guy Ariel. Ariel, what did you think about the game tonight?
I thought
this afternoon.
Yeah, I thought the Heat, at least in the first half, played with the just the perfect competitive disposition that you want to see out of them. They came into this game and took it seriously. The attention to detail was there on both ends of the ball. The execution on offense was just surgical. Like, guys were moving, the ball was zipping around, guys were in the right spots. They were finding the mismatches. I don't know why the Celtics had Kemba Walker on Trevor Ariza all the time, but I love that.
Oh, baby.
Barbecue chicken down there. Like, I love how the Heat were able to find that matchup every single time, and Trevor Ariza took advantage of it, so props to him. Defensively, Jimmy and Bam were absolutely absurd. Before everyone gets in here and starts talking nonsense about how Bam isn't aggressive enough and he's not worth the contract. Listen, there's a fine line. Like, there's a happy medium where we can say, yes, he needs to perhaps be a little bit more aggressive, but to act like he isn't worth the contract, you don't know basketball, because he was spectacular tonight defensively. He was phenomenal on that end. And Jimmy Butler, man, like, what more can you say? He dominated the game on both ends. He was the best player on the court by a mile. I was not shocked to see the regression come in the second half, because the Heat were absolutely scorching in the first half, but Jimmy wasn't letting them lose today. He had the big buckets whenever they needed it, and he took the game home for them.
Yeah, so I think you make an excellent point about Bam and Jimmy being phenomenal defensively in that first half, because while people may attribute this game to the second half scoring that they did in the first half, part of the reason that we were able to build that lead is because they were blowing shit up all through that first. Jimmy is crazy. He is crazy off ball defensively. He is crazy off ball. Gadiel Cartagena, Tuesday? Yes, indeed. We get him again. So, Gad, tell me what you thought about the game today, though.
I was happy with the way they played. Like, this is I tweeted it out, but this is a game that the Heat this season have lost multiple times against the Warriors, against the Clippers, against the Hornets. Those are three just off the top of my head that the Heat have lost this game throughout this season, and they were able to close this out. So that alone makes me happy. But Ariel, to your point, I think Bam played fantastic defense in the first half. But in the second half, I actually wanted to point out something. I thought he did a horrible job of fighting over the seal that Tristan Thompson was getting, because the wide open lanes that they were getting with Fournier, Tatum, Walker, like those three guys were just eating at the rim. It was layup lines for them. And it was literally because Bam was not able to fight over Tristan Thompson. I get it. Tristan Thompson's a big, strong guy, but Bam has to give more of an effort to deter the defense or deter the guy going to the rim. Because if not, then it's too easy. Like, you're looking at Goran, Hero, and Nunn trying to play defense on guys who are able to take people off the dribble. That's one thing I wanted to point out. But, I mean, Bam came through down the stretch. I mean, he had, 5 shot attempts, 20 points. So he showed up when we needed him to in the fourth quarter, like end of the fourth, which is cool. But this game was Jimmy, and Jimmy was just dominant. Like you guys have all said, that defense it's so satisfying to watch him play. It's like he's playing chess. Everybody else is playing checkers on defense. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Jimmy he knows where the ball's going to go, and he's so damn good at it. And
somebody kick Ricky ass out of here if he put that game up here again.
I was about to say, we got the donation from Talking Movies. The fourth quarter run was more concerning to me than the third quarter. Great W overall, though, and Tuesday will be fun with the adjustments. Happy Mother's Day. Couldn't have said it any better.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the dono.
Bring Ricky back, because I was going to throw him the next question. But before we get into individual,
Alana. Oh Lord.
Oh, I wasn't reading it. But thank you thank you to our sponsor. Whatever. Before we get into individual matchups or players, let's talk about one of our sponsors, and that's Therapist Preferred. Therapist Preferred is a premium CBD company. They were formed in 2019 by an actual physical therapist. They got premium CBD, 100% THC, third lab verified CBD products that also heal your body and your mind. So make sure you go to therapistpreferred.com, use the promo code 5 Reasons, the number 5 Reasons for 20% off plus free shipping. I don't know what's going on with everybody jumping in and out of here. But yeah. So Ricky, let's go to, I think everybody hinted on Bam, but let's dive a little bit deeper into Bam's game today. Because while we were acknowledging that, yeah, him and Jimmy kind of let everybody else get going in the first half, the second half looked like it needed for both of them to kind of take over, and he was just leaving it all up to Jimmy. Was that what you were saying as well?
Yes and no, in a weird way, because Bam, we know what we need out of Bam when Jimmy is off the floor and when Jimmy is on the floor. There were times when I was thinking, oh, okay, Bam's posting up, he's probably going to demand it, but it just turned into Jimmy shot attempt. Which, here's the thing, we could do a lot worse than Jimmy taking shots with the Celtics coming back in. But if I may, there's something at the beginning of the fourth quarter that really troubled me, and it involved both Bam and Jimmy. Neither of them were on the floor. And that was what started this. And I don't want to turn a Heat win into a Spo bashing thing, because I'm typically not the guy that comes for Spo. But this late in the season, where every win matters, we can't do that. We can't do that. And
I think you alluded to that three-guard lineup. The three-guard lineup where you had Hero, Dragic, and Kendrick Nunn out there on the floor at the same time, and they were getting absolutely barbecued. Thank you, Poetic Lifestyle, for the $4.99. Don't know. He said the Heat in the playoff mode. Everyone was locked in today. Yeah, I think that's true for one half of basketball. The second half, it was tough, because I think we wanted, and that's leading to what we're talking about, which is Bam. I just really felt like Bam left a lot to be desired throughout the course of the game. Of course, he made up for it at the end, but I believe when we were going through those lows in the second half, I believe there were opportunities for him to step up, and we just didn't see it until close to the end of the game. And thank God for Jimmy in that regard. But Jonathan, were there pockets where you felt like Bam could have been more aggressive in that third quarter or fourth, or early going in the fourth?
Absolutely, because they were doing other things, trying to get other actions going. When Bam had some mismatches that I don't know why he didn't expose. There was one time he had Kemba Walker, multiple times he had Kemba Walker on him, and they didn't even look to get him in the post up because that's. I mean, if Trevor Ariza is able to, roast Kemba Walker in the post, Bam is just going to absolutely destroy him. So I don't know why they're not finding him a little bit more in the post. He's able to manifest his will, right? He's able to dunk the ball. He had that nice little poster in the fourth quarter, so he's able to get up, finish over players. He has a nice touch around the rim. He has a speed advantage over somebody like Tristan Thompson, right? Thompson's a big body guy who can kind of stay in front of you, but Bam's a little bit quicker. So use your finesse, draw that foul, get to the line a bit more. And, he did it. He did get to the line, but there were times in this game where when Jimmy was out, there needs to be Bam, needs to just be go time for him. And I felt like you said, a lot to be left desired. This could have been easily a game where he got like 30, 35 points if he was just a little bit more aggressive when we had those offensive lulls.
Yeah, I think we've talked about Bam's aggression ad nauseum, and at this, it's like we've been saying for a while now. It's like at this point, you have to accept what you get from him, which is a very well-rounded game. Sometimes he's not going to be as assertive on the offensive end, but you're never going to question his defense or his effort on that side of the ball. So we want to thank Ravi Patel for the $4.99 dono. He said, "What's up with Nunn? It seems like the Heat just forgot about him in the second half. We'll get to Nunn in the second." And our guy Big Banks Barai dropped us with the $24.99 dono. He said, "Heat win Tuesday and Benjamin is coming, y'all." Wait, yo, you give us incentive for the Miami Heat. You should call Jimmy Butler and tell him that. So we talked about Bam. I'm not sure how much juice we could get out of that. So let's go to Jimmy, and I'll throw this to Gad. Gad, talk about how Jimmy was able to save us throughout the course of this game.
Imposing his will. I mean, any time that he said, "You know what? I want to get a bucket on this possession," it was just shoulder, bucket, mid-range, bucket. Pass the ball to somebody else, bucket. Like anytime Jimmy touched the ball, it turned into gold down the stretch. It was satisfying because he only had one shot attempt in the first half, and then he just, took over. I don't know how many shot attempts he finished with, but it had to have been well over. Jimmy only had 5 shot attempts.
Oh, my bad. I thought I tuned it.
Jimmy shot the ball 14 times.
Okay, yeah, 13 in the second half. That's when the game is kind of in flux a little bit. You want Jimmy to be able to. You want to have the guy to be able to say, "I want to take over this game." So Jimmy being able to do that was very, very satisfying. The bench and all the other guys really held it down in the first half, and then Jimmy held it down in the second half, and that amounts to a team win. Very satisfying. Haven't gotten many of those this season. If you told me we were going to give up 124 points to the Boston Celtics, I wouldn't think that we would win that game, but we scored 130 on them, and we were able to win. So I'm happy with that.
Hey, go ahead and finish it. Yeah, go ahead.
You got the dono. Perfect timing. Okay, HM. Hope you're having a fantastic Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to anyone that you may know that may be a mother. Bam should have had a field day today. Love the short leash on Tyler today. Depot will get plenty of his minutes if he doesn't get better on defense somehow. I think Depot really, if he is able to come back, I don't know anything about, I don't know what to expect with that situation. But I think if Depot is able to come back, those minutes with the bench where there's no Jimmy on the floor, I think the beginning of the fourth quarter, that's where Depot can really, really make an impact and create a little bit for everybody else. So, yeah, totally agree with that statement.
What scares me about that scenario that you're bringing up is that the very thing that we didn't want could happen will happen, which is Kendrick Nunn being the one that's being replaced in those minutes. To Ravi Patel's point, we'll get to Kendrick in a minute. I want to let Ariel talk about Jimmy.
I don't even know what to say about Jimmy anymore, man. The dude is just absurd. Gad alluded to it. It kind of felt like he was, at least offensively, was kind of floating through this game. And whenever the Heat needed a bucket, whenever they needed to pick me up, it seemed like he was the guy to be there and get that done for them. He can get to the rim. He can get to his spots whenever he wants. He's not even a good 3-point shooter, but the Celtics go on a run. Jimmy comes flying off of a Bam screen, or I don't remember who it was, and buries a 3 in a huge spot. That dude has ice in his veins. He doesn't care about anything other than this is what I need to do, so that's what I'm going to do. Defensively, like you said, Royal, absurd. He's playing a whole other game out there. I've never seen a player in a Miami Heat uniform dominate games defensively like he does. You can make an argument for Zoe. You can make an argument for LeBron. What Jimmy does. Yeah, go ahead.
See, that was a tweet that I think Chef Trilly put out. He was he thinks Jimmy might be the most impactful defensive player that's ever worn a Miami Heat. And I see the look on your face. So after he finishes the point, then we'll let you combat it, Wikipedia. But go ahead. Ariel, what's your point on Jimmy?
So what I'm getting at is like he sees things on a whole other level, and he impacts defense on like at every level of the court. He knows where ball handlers' tendencies are, where they're gonna go, what they're gonna do. I know Ricky's about to blow a gasket and make a case for Alonzo Mourning or somebody who played 10 years before him, before the Heat even came into the league. So I'm interested to hear that, and I can absolutely, glad to hear the argument for Zoe. I think you can go either way on that, but for me, it's Jimmy Butler.
So
before you get into that Zoe thing, or do you have a dono?
It's not a dono. It's a comment that I have to put up.
Go ahead.
So shout out to my dog Tiffany Meeks.
Hey.
She say, Roy, I see you, and y'all know why? Because I got on my dog's shirt. Fuck them numbers. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. That's my homie. Appreciate you. Happy Mother's Day, Tiff. So go ahead, Jonathan. I think you wanted to jump in there. We're gonna let Ricky rebuttal the defensive thing about Jimmy.
Yeah, the only thing I was saying as far as ice in his veins, Jimmy missed his last 16 3-pointer shots, right? And then when that lead went down to 6, he hit that 3-point shot, and that's when it really mattered, right? So when it matters, man, playoff Jimmy is just a different beast.
Yes, indeed. So, Ricky, educate us, brother.
So first off, I don't want to create a narrative behind that Jimmy 3. We needed those Jimmy's 3s the last week. It's not because he had to win tonight that the 3 went down. Let's not do that. It just went down.
That doesn't fit the agenda, Ricky. That doesn't fit the agenda.
I don't give a damn about the agendas, all right? I tell the truth. That's a fact. You want to talk about arguably the greatest, most versatile Heat defender in history? Probably it wasn't Alonzo Mourning who won DPOYs. It was LeBron James in 2013. That man defended 1 through 5. That man took a 2011 MVP and turned him into Gabe Vincent. All right.
Whoa.
Blocked that final shot. He blocked that final shot at the end of Game 5 that sent Miami to the finals. Let's not live in the moment here. Jimmy is an unbelievable defender, and he's easily a top 5 Heat player of all time. But as far as greatest defender in Heat history, in a franchise that is defined by defense, let's not blaspheme, okay?
Listen, it's not necessary, but it's not blasphemy though, Ricky. Like he is legitimately. Like Jimmy Butler is legitimately already, like you said, he's one of the top 5 players. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go there yet, but he's top 5 player, maybe not. Top 5 defender, definitely. Top 3 defender, it's tough to argue that. Like the man is
top 3 defender, of course.
That's what I'm saying. So the conversation for him versus that, like the LeBron year was absurd. I get it. He should have won Defensive Player of the Year that year, but an argument can be made for Jimmy Butler winning Defensive Player of the Year this year. Like his impact on that end of the ball is absolutely crazy.
Over Bam? Because Bam's
maybe
the one getting the buzz right now.
I don't know. Like they both. They're okay. So I'll give them this. They're the best defensive tandem that we've ever had in terms of like 2 defenders on one team. Wade, I love him, but they weren't doing this.
Wade,
they weren't surrounded. I'm saying Wade and LeBron together, like they weren't surrounded by less than defenders on every other position on the court.
Dwayne was a great defender, off ball, and obviously very good on ball. But it was more of like he did the kind of like the Kobe thing where he would turn it on when he felt like it was needed. Whereas Jimmy is always on; he's always at that level.
Yeah, and so was that guy.
So was Wade. That boy Wade. Look, I
in
get
his
it.
prime, Wade was,
but
you don't get
amazing.
You don't retire as the greatest
100%.
shot blocking guard in NBA history by dogging it every so often. But then again, after 2011, it calmed down.
If you're talking in the same season, Wade was a little bit after his prime when LeBron was, hitting his defensive prime when LeBron should have got Defensive Player of the Year. So
that was his last year.
Yeah, I agree. If you put the 2 primes of D Wade and LeBron, it's definitely better than the 2 primes of the defensive, combo of Jimmy and Bam. But right now, for the single season, yeah, absolutely. Bam and Jimmy together is the best combo we've had on the floor at the same time.
Yeah, okay. So I'm saying some names for like James Posey, Keith Askins.
Yeah,
like we've had great defenders come through this organization, but we're talking about a different level of defender. I don't care if you think I sound like a fool.
Jimmy's all the way up here.
Yeah, Jimmy's on a completely different level. That's why we're putting him in the same conversation as a LeBron when he was at his peak defensive.
Can I make the quick distinction between LeBron and Jimmy? And I think that Ricky's convinced me a little bit, but so as I've thought about it, the way I see it is Jimmy sees things at a little bit of a different level, whereas he has to make up for a lot of this stuff defensively by his anticipation and his smarts. And of course, we're nitpicking. LeBron had all of those attributes as well. What separated LeBron was that physically he was on a whole other plane, and so he can make up for a lot of the stuff that Jimmy's just not able to make up for. So Jimmy has to be smarter and see things ahead of time more than LeBron did, whereas LeBron could be more reactionary. So I think it's very close, but that's where I draw the difference.
So you're saying Jimmy's the smartest Heat defender of all time?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh no.
That could be an argument for it.
I understand that take, but the thing with LeBron on defense is not only was he supremely athletic. A lot of people, for some reason, think that because of LeBron's unbelievable athletic abilities, that his mind isn't freaky. The man has the man has a photographic memory, meaning before every game, his anticipation looks so great, not only because he's got those fast twitch muscles, but because he remembers the defensive schemes of another team. There was this one instance in a post-game interview where he pretty much recapped, I think it was at the end of Game 7 against Boston, where he recapped pretty much every possession from like 8 minutes onwards, and they played the tape next to it, and he got it down to a T. So while Jimmy is fantastic, amazing, he had to work harder. I'm not going to reward someone because he had to work harder when you're comparing it to a guy who's naturally gifted on top of having an unbelievable basketball mind that is challenged by very few in NBA history, not just Heat history.
Okay, we're going to circle back around to this conversation after we end the stream because as Gaddy Cartagena has reminded us, the 2021 Miami Heat won a game today. So thank you, Pride by Pack TV with the $1.99. Don't know, he said missed the game, but the boy feeling good. Yes, it did, Mr. Pride by Pack 21. So we're gonna go back to this game and let's talk about Kendrick Nunn, which is who I wanted to touch on. He actually lost some minutes. Like I think they're. I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and hatch it out. Gad, since you brought us back on track, you'll start the Kendrick Nunn discussion. But I think there was an opportunity, or I think that we saw. Yeah, I think we saw Kendrick Nunn lose minutes to both Goran and Dunk and Tyler tonight in situations where he shouldn't have. But go ahead and tell me what you thought about how Kendrick Nunn played versus how he lost his minutes a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he played fine offensively. I think defensively, no guard between Goran, Tyler, and Nunn played particularly well defensively. Like, they were all getting cooked by Fournier, Kemba, and whoever off ball. I mean, they just weren't really there with their rotation, specifically in the second half. But I don't think I think Kendrick Nunn should be leading that trio in minutes. Like, I think Kendrick should be the one that's getting closer to like 27, 29 minutes. Goran should be getting about 24. And then, I mean, Tyler Hero, he only played 17 today. Part of that because he just absolutely bombed the fourth quarter. I think Kendrick Nunn should be getting more minutes than Tyler for sure. And I think he should be getting more minutes than Goran. But I don't think it was too bad today from Nunn in terms of his minutes. Like, I think playing half the game is about right. I would like to see him play a little bit more. But, I mean, he's steady. Like, at this point, it's a reliable 12 to 15 points a game. And that with off-catch-and-shoot threes alongside Jimmy and Bam, I like it. Like, Kendrick, he's earned his spot. I don't think anything can really touch him for the last 4 or so games.
I think where I was in the fourth quarter when Dragic was getting those minutes. I think Nunn should have replaced Dragic in that lineup. I'm gonna throw it to you, Ram Lacan. Where were you on Kendrick Nunn's game versus the minute situation that he had?
Yeah, absolutely. There was many times, and like you alluded to, that fourth quarter especially, where I felt like he should have got those minutes. Goran really wasn't, the best version of himself in that first quarter, in that fourth quarter. He had a decently good first half. He was moving the ball pretty well. He had that nice lob to Dedmon to begin the fourth quarter, but outside of that, he wasn't really doing too much. And then on the other end, he was getting absolutely cooked on defense. And Nunn and Goran are both pretty ass on defense. Let's get that out of the way. But I trust Nunn's ass a little bit more than I trust Goran's ass to stay in front of those guys, right? And he gives you a little bit more offensively. And I like what Goran does, but he doesn't have that explosive first step anymore. And at least with Nunn, if he has a pick and roll with Bam, he has a decent chemistry with them. So I feel like, Nunn should have got a little bit more minutes. I felt like he played really well in the first half, hitting the pull-up jumper when it was when he allowed it to. just hitting the shots when it came to him. So I really think Kendrick Nunn should be getting a little bit more minutes over Goran for sure.
So thank you, D, for the $2. Hold on, thank you, D, for the $2 dono. He said Spo is a lover, is a hero lover. Shaking my fucking head. Look, he wasn't a hero lover tonight. He snatched his ass right up out of that fourth quarter. Like I don't wanna do the Tyler thing, but bro, you have to do the Tyler thing, bro. Like that motherfucker was trash in that fourth quarter, bro. Like it's all good. It's all good. It's all good when the ill-advised shots are going in. But then when you're in the game that you're losing momentum in and you're just in there jacking up bad shot after bad shot.
Ooh,
Oh my goodness. I almost tweeted at you,
bro, my head, but bro, like, dog, like when he shot that shit, bro, y'all already know I was in my house going absolutely nuts.
Like, it's one thing if he does that in the first or second quarter. When you do that in the fourth quarter when the team's making a run on you, it's a close game and you have the clock on, like, come on.
And man, say something. Duncan did that in the first half, and I was a million times more % confident in Duncan taking that damn shot than Hero.
He's having a down year. He's shooting like 10% better from three than Tyler is. So
and it's like you have two totally different levels of confidence. And on top of that, think of the situation of the game, what was going on. Like Celtics were making a run. You kind of want to milk the clock. He pulls up with like 23 seconds left on the shot clock, and he pulls up for three. Like, why are you gonna do that shit?
Listen, so I'm not just gonna completely smash on him because there were pockets of this game where I think Tyler played well. Mm-hmm. That first half, Tyler was phenomenal. So I have to give him his credit. Like Tyler did play well, but I just think that in a situation like this where we know the implications of this game, like we know what this game means to our season and what we're trying to accomplish, and we're in the fourth quarter of a game that we're letting slip away, and you are just in that bitch doing you. Like you got to go. You got to sit down, bro. And I was happy to see Spo do it. Ricky, bro, like, am I being too harsh on Tyler? Could we have given him a little more rope? But okay.
No, not at all. Because here's the thing: this is a playoff game that we played today. A playoff game. Let's be completely real, right? Just look at the difference between the teams right now, like in terms of the standings. If Miami wins these two games, they're all but assured of not playing in the wild card or the play-in, whatever you want to call it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that essentially gives them the tiebreaker over Boston and creates some distance, right? I was gonna say something. Ron McCon, I'm just curious. Your last take right before we went into like a hero stroke. What were you saying again? Because I'm not gonna lie, I lost my train of thought once we all collectively freaked out over Hero.
You're making me go back a little too far, bro. I don't remember that far back.
Well, it was 5 minutes. Fair enough. I'll come back.
Situation. You remember what I was saying?
No, but go ahead. What you were saying, Gad? No, he doesn't remember. Let's move on.
No, I was just reading the comments. Situations are situational. That's facts.
This is true. This is true because the last game I wasn't here because
situations.
Yeah, situations.
Good now.
Yeah, but the boy got his super soldier serum. Like I'm good now. So but yeah, last game Hero played phenomenal, and I wasn't able to get on here and kind of give him his flowers. So okay, so you remember what he was talking about? Go ahead, Ricky.
I do. Yeah, so with regards to the Hero versus, I'm sorry, not the Hero, the Dragic versus Nunn argument debate that's happening, I understand it's a very tough thing, but I can also see why Spo wanted to keep, thank you, I also wanted to keep, that's hilarious, I also understood why Spo wanted to keep Dragic out there on the floor, because for the last few years now, and I know it's Mother's Day and everything, but Kemba Walker's Goran Dragic's son. Okay, let's just go back to the 2016 first round, that game 7. It was Kemba that was guarding him when he went off for almost 30. So I think in terms of matchups, that's probably why he wanted him out there, in case he wanted to abuse Kemba some more. But I get the Nunn argument, I really do.
It's a different Goran now. It's a little bit more, but Royal, you can go ahead and take this how you want now.
Oh, yeah. So now we're going to go to Duncan Robinson, who we haven't talked about nearly enough. Ariel, I'll let you start on the Duncan Robinson conversation because Duncan is so underrated, bro, in terms of what he does for this team. Whether he's making or missing or cutting or trying to defend to the best of his ability, Duncan Robinson is a fucking problem for other teams. So I want you to talk about Duncan Robinson's game tonight.
Sheen brought the torch, man. Like this dude is ridiculous. Like what he does for the Heat's offense. It doesn't even matter if he's making or missing shots. Of course, it helps tremendously when he's making them. But even if he isn't, like just the gravity that he commands and the way that he moves the defense just by running off of a million screens and the attention that he draws with him opens things up for everybody. He's just absurd, man. Like I love what he's added to his game. We've been talking about this for months. I don't even know where else to go with it. Like we were so concerned with him earlier in the season, and what he's done since the trade deadline is basically just remind everybody, hey, UMFers better pay me because there's no way you can let that dude walk. He's getting paid this summer.
When Duncan Robinson ran off of that screen and then like hit that jump shot, like it was a little circle thing on the little corner. I thought Hubie Brown was finna subscribe to Duncan OnlyFans. Beautiful. Bro, that boy Hubie Brown thought that was the prettiest thing, and I had to agree with him. So, Gad, I want you to talk something about what you saw from not Goran, but talk about Duncan.
Nah, Duncan was butter. I mean, literally anytime that ball went up, I thought it was going in, and he had 5 threes tonight, I believe. Like he was not missing, and he was hitting them when we needed them too. That's something that Duncan really has not done consistently throughout his Heat tenure. Is he'll hit shots very early on, and then he'll maybe have 1 or 2 in the second quarter, and then third and fourth he kind of fades away a little bit. No, this man, game on the line, they have all the momentum. He said, "Shoo!" and he was just banging threes. It was so satisfying to watch.
You say what?
Shoo! Like that ball is just going through the rim, you know? I'm just making noises out here, okay? Because like Duncan does so many damn things that I need to switch it up a little bit. But no,
he made 6 threes tonight.
6 threes, and they all mattered. Like I don't know if we win this game without Duncan tonight. He was good.
We don't. Duncan Robinson, and I think what was so satisfying to Gad's point, it wasn't just the number of threes and the fact that he was taking them. It was the kind of threes that he was taking. Like he had a deep ass 3. He had a 3 in the clutch. I can hear myself.
Yeah, I don't know where that's.
Me neither. Oh, it stopped now. I think it was Gad because he looks guilty. But Duncan had Duncan had a late game 3. Duncan had a deep 3. Want to thank our guy Metro Play for the $5 dono. He said, "Yo, I want to say 3 things. 1, happy Mother's Day to everyone. 2, Heat Nation is strong no matter what. 3, today is my birthday. Let's go eat. Happy birthday, my guy.
Metro
Happy
Play.
birthday, man.
If young
Many
Metro
blessings
don't
to
trust
you,
you.
I'm telling you, Metro booming on the track. But we got the Duncan. Let's talk about one of our other favorite players, and I'm gonna throw this to Ramakan. Talk about the dead man, bro. Because in spurts where Bam wasn't giving us what we needed, and we put Deadman in the game, him and Jimmy kind of had this little thing going, and it was a wonderful sight to watch. So talk about Deadman's game and how he has impacted us in today's game particularly.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think he does just a great job on defense. He does good things on offense, but what he does really is just shut lanes down on defense. When Bam was unable to, like what Gad was talking about, get past the seal of Tristan Thompson, Deadman was able to do that and able to shut those lanes off and able to stop players from getting to the rim as much. And he had that one nice block where Deadman said, "Get it out of here." He had that really nice lob early in the fourth quarter. He was making himself available. He had that running sky hook sometime, and I think Mark Jones went off on it, just how nice that skyhook was. But man, Deadman is just giving us a little different flair. He's a skilled big man, and that's a true big, and we really haven't had that in a little while. It's been a while since we had a really true skilled big, and he's able to do a lot of different things. And man, he just plays. Like Joseph Blanco says, Deadman tells no tales. That's what it is. He killed the game.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, shout out Royal.
Yes, indeed. So, Ricky, talk about the. All right,
I said it specifically for the reaction right there.
Ricky,
you make our dreams come true.
Ricky, talk about right. Hakeem Deadman. Hakeem Olajuwon Deadman.
Okay, yeah. He's. Oh man. Okay, let me gather myself.
Wilt Chamberlain Deadman.
Is he like a modern day Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? What do you guys think? Let's go around the horn.
Yeah, I was thinking more so like the Dikembe Mutombo, Hakeem Olajuwon hybrid. Maybe David Robinson.
Like that's prime.
In his prime. When he was the Admiral. That's when.
Is he better than LeBron?
Who? Deadman?
On defense.
Oh, that's not a question.
Oh, by far.
Come on now.
Laps him.
Ricky, what you think?
Ricky's shaking right now. He's so mad. Oh my god.
I'm good. I'm good.
It's like a mix of
great.
LeBron and Wilt Chamberlain.
Let me check the next score.
Oscar Robinson.
Let me check the next score.
Logo to Deadman.
Okay, let's get back on track, fellas. Deadman's game tonight, Ricky.
So there is something
Deadman
to
greater
be
than
said
Shaq.
about a big.
I'm sorry, I saw it in the
said. There's something to be said about a competent big man that can block shots, rebound, score in the paint, and even stretch the floor a little bit. Something that we haven't quite really seen from Deadman yet this season, but we might if we bring him back next season. Deadman is the ideal kind of big man to have to give Bam minutes to rest. But only when Jimmy is on the floor too, because Jimmy's penetration will allow for Deadman to get easy buckets. It'll allow him to basically be a roving maniac, and it'll also allow a lot of the wings on this Heat team to be a little bit more not aggressive, but a lot more bold in defending, because they know that Deadman's waiting in the paint, something that the Heat haven't had since Hassan Whiteside.
Wait, why are you comparing him to Hassan Whiteside when we got people in the comments saying that Deadman's better than Yao, Deadman's better than Dennis Rodman, Deadman's better than Tim Duncan, Deadman's better than Anthony Davis?
Better than Patrick Ewing, I'll tell you that much.
For sure.
I hate everyone. I hate all of you.
Oh, so Ricky, I know who you don't hate. Pay Vertigear, Ricky.
So Vertigear. Yeah. So for those of you that aren't familiar, you all see that most of us here are sitting on a beautiful Vertigear chair. You can see it sitting behind Royal. You can see it sitting behind Ramlakan. Not so sure about Gad or Ariel, but hey, you know what? You keep getting these chairs, that just might happen for us. If you are a streamer, if you are a gamer, or even if you're trying to have the second or third best post-game show on the network, or not on the network, but just in general, you'll want a chair like this because it'll make you feel a lot better, especially if you're pushing 30 and you hurt your back by simply turning
post-game show on any network. Ricky J. Mark on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you had
ever.
So basically, Vertigear makes it a lot easier for you to maintain your posture, to feel good, and not only that, it's very easy to set up. So you go to vertigear.com. We're going to leave a link and some information in the bio for you. You go in there, you use our referral code, and things will be a lot better for you, especially moving forward, because even as we're continuing to open up and we'll be going outside more as more of us get vaccinated, like the king over here, Royal, did just the other day, you'll want to be able to sit on a nice chair when you get home from work. So Vertigear, they're a proud sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Network. They'll take care of you the same way they've taken care of us, so that way we can live to tell about it. These chairs are beautiful, and we wouldn't be about it if we really didn't care. So
Deadman's better than Julius Randle. Deadman's better than Taj Gibson. Deadman's better than any center in NBA history. Deadman's better than Giannis. Deadman is better than Bill Russell. Deadman is better than Moses Malone. Yo, what is it? Dead VP? Like, what is going on? Deadman better than Jokic? Okay, so we are getting completely off the rails. Let's talk about the next game, which is also against the Celtics. We're going to start with Ramakan. Ramakan, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling good, man. We had Jimmy Butler take over today, and whenever it's playoff time, whenever the game counts, that's when Jimmy's gonna step up. The whole second half, most of the team shit the bed, except maybe Duncan and Jimmy. So I mean, Bam too, right? He had a pretty decent second half, but Jimmy's the one who really carried us to a victory. So as long as we have Jimmy, I'm confident we can get this win.
Yeah, Jimmy had a pretty good. Bam had a pretty good second half of the fourth quarter. Gat, the boy feeling good.
The boy feeling good. I don't know if Jaylen Brown's going to play or not, but I'm still feeling good about this game. I think, honestly, we had some players play really well tonight, but Jimmy was the one that carried us. I think the Celtics' best player could have honestly been one of either Evan Fournier or Kemba Walker down the stretch, and that is not a recipe for success. So I think the Heat are looking pretty good. I think this bench should be able to show up once again. I'd like to see Bam have more of an impact offensively, obviously, But I think the Heat, I think they pull this one out. Honestly, I have faith that they'll be able to win the second game. I don't know why. I just have a good feeling. Although we're not good on Tuesdays.
This is true. We looked into this. You want to tell? Do you know? Remember the stat?
We're bad. Okay, we are 2-7 on Tuesdays. By the way, we are now 7-1 on Sundays. 2-7 on Tuesdays, and Bam averages 14 points.
About to be 3-7.
Bro, exactly, bro. What are you doing, bro? Nobody cares for your negativity.
Argue with NBA.com.
That's the phrase. That's the phrase right there.
Another quote of Gadiel Cartagena. Yeah, I meant to tell you, how did you feel about Mother's Day Bam not going completely as planned?
It's fine because I hedged my bet by saying Dwayne Dedmon would be the X factor for this game because he's it's a completely safe option for any game. Any given game you could say he's the X factor. So I went
he could be an X factor with 6 points.
Did we win this game without Dwayne Dedmon?
No. You don't win any game without Dwayne Dedmon this year. Since they got him.
If we win, it's his doing. If we lose, it's not his fault.
We have a probably 10 times better chance of making the finals since we got Dwayne Dedmon.
You know how good the Knicks would be with Dwayne Dedmon? All right, let's move on.
Still worse than
they'd have the MVP.
Still worse than Miami. Eric.
Yeah, they'd be in the third seed instead of the fourth.
Yeah, get their ass bounced in the first round.
The boy is probably feeling good again. He's very scared of what that means for himself and his feelings. But, hey, listen, the Heat got a big win. I think they're turning a corner here. Let's go. I think the Heat get a W on Tuesday. They bury the Celtics, relegate them to the play-in, and then we set our eyes on the 5th seed.
Ricky J. Mark. The boy feeling good?
Hell no, I don't feel good. I feel terrible. All right. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, give me.
Watch some Dwayne Dedmon highlights. You'll feel better.
Did you see the second half? Did you see how the Celtics started figuring out Miami before Jimmy was able to bail them out? You mean to tell me that Miami shooters are going to have the second a performance like they did today for the second night in a row? I don't see that happening. Miami shooters are too streaky. Duncan Robinson is not going to get 6 threes again on Tuesday. Jimmy Butler's going to play great, but is Bam going to be remotely aggressive like he was today? I'm not so sure about that, and the Celtics just seem like they wanted more. And with their backs against the wall, same way it was in the playoffs, they went ahead and won that game. So, I don't know, man. I got Miami. I got Miami losing this one.
Ricky might have convinced me.
Yes. Oh, really? Well, I got news for both of you guys. Ramakan did it justice last time. But I'm going to make sure y'all know for real. The Heat are about to blow that shit out. Fuck is you talking about? Listen, we already know we got the blueprint. We saw it in the first half. We're going to do that, but we're going to do it 2 times on Tuesday. You hear me? 26, 52-point win by Miami. You heard it here first. I'm breaking the news to you. Okay, so y'all get ready for that. We're going to pop champagne. We're going to have a bunch of Miami Grill, another proud sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Network, brought to you by Gadiel Cartagena, who's going to tell us all about it.
Miami Grill?
Yes.
Listen, I said if the Heat won this game on Tuesday, I will be stuffing my face with Miami Grill on stream. So
I want to see that.
Win or lose against the Celtics on Tuesday, I'm going to be enjoying myself eating a fantastic meal from Miami Grill. I implore you guys to do the same. We can all eat Miami Grill together. And if we win by 52, I mean, it's going to be like Thanksgiving in May. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing. We'll have a feast as people watching this stream, and it's going to be a good time. We're going to be eating it. Nemanja Bjelica is going to be eating it. He's probably going to be eating more than us. He's probably going to be eating 6 times more than us. And that's going to be a really, really good feeling. So make sure you go to Miami Grill and make sure you eat food with us, with me, on Tuesday.
Jafar Muhammad, if we win by 52, you will tip your life savings. You have been caught in 4K because I'm screenshotting your ass today.
You realize we get $1 tips all the time, right?
Okay, that was good. Thank you, Robbie Patel, for the $2.99 dono. He said Heat in 5 against the Knicks. Ricky,
you're wrong. We're gonna give 4.
Heat in 2000. We're gonna give Ricky all of that. Ricky gonna get that entire $3. So, Jonathan Ramakan, you get to pay the primary sponsor of the 5 Reasons Sports Network tonight, and that's Biscayne Bay Brewing.
Yeah, so go to BiscayneBayBrewing.com. You want to check out where you have your local South Brewed beer. It's the only locally brewed South Brewed beer. Say that 3 times, right? They have it in the Marlins Stadium. They actually have a stand over there. They're all over South Florida. So what you want to do, you want to go online, find the flavor that's closest to the beer that you think is your favorite beer right now. You will taste the Biscayne Bay Brewing, and you will have a new favorite beer. So go have that experience. It's like, when you're a child and you go to the candy shop for the first time. That's what it's like doing when you get a Biscayne Bay Brewing. So go ahead and drink responsibly.
All right. Did we pay everybody?
Mm-hmm. And we got them all.
Yeah, we paid everybody tonight. Good job, fellas. At 45 minutes, too. So let's talk about some of these other shows that we got coming up. Gadiel Cartagena, today you get to talk about walkouts and knockouts.
Listen, if you guys watched that fight between Canelo Alvarez and Billy Ray Cyrus last night, it was an amazing fight. I believe it went 4 rounds, was it? And then
eight rounds.
8 rounds. That's what I mean. It was divided by 4. I forgot to mention the denominator or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, though. That fight was beautiful. And Canelo, Ariel said it. He's another breed when he gets in the zone, and they told you about that on walkouts and knockouts. I believe, allegedly, that is what they said on that show. And you should definitely be tuning in every single Saturday, because that's not what they said, actually. I was just lying once again. Make sure you watch Walkouts and Knockouts. It's a fun way to watch the combat, boxing, fighting, battle royale, all that good stuff. They teach you about it, and it's a good time. So watch Walkouts and Knockouts. Jonathan, at what time is it on Saturdays?
It's at 4 p.m. and it's UFC Fight Week on 5. It's what I do with Alpha Artiaga, and we cover the boxing on that one. But as far as walkouts and knockouts goes, we have a title fight coming up this Sunday. It's going to be Saturday at 4 p.m. And we'll get you ready for those title fights, man. It's the first title fight in the lightweight division since Khabib. So since Khabib's gone, we're going to have a new champ.
Well, thank you very much, 5 Reasons Sports, with a nice chair, Royal. Yes, it is. I'm sitting in the PL 1000, which you can use the affiliate link in the description below and go to vertigear.com, put in your height and weight, and you'll get your own. We already said that to everybody before if you had been listening, but you probably were recording a wonderful 5 on the Floor pod that people will be able to catch sometime in the near to distant future. Ricky, I'm going to lob you up one that I know that you want to talk about. Talk about Feel the Heat, my brother.
There are a lot of people right now that are feeling the heat down in their soul. And for those of you that are familiar with those words, those are actually those are the lyrics of a very popular song in the mid to late 90s that came out for the Miami Heat that, believe it or not, one of the hosts of this show, Alana Tahauer, did I pronounce her name right? I hope
yes, you did.
Yes. Didn't even know existed until the first episode. That's what they talked about. This is a Heat Culture episode. This is a Heat Culture show. Alana, Michael Christian, they're going to pretty much take you through the ins and outs of Heat Culture. It's special. It's amusing. There are outtakes that are hilarious, which I'm sure Marco Romo is working on right now the next time he's got his free time. And I found out just today, I love Pocket Cast. It's my favorite podcast app. It's available on Pocket Cast in addition to Spotify, iTunes, you name it. So you subscribe to Feel the Heat today. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic show. They did a stream. They're going to be doing a stream, I want to say, once a month now. It's hilarious because it's the both of them. What else is there? My goodness. Every week they have a new episode. You never know who's going to be on. The most recent episode had our very own Heat insider himself, Greg Sylvander. You'll want to go tune into that. So yeah, Feel the Heat. Add some more content to your veins. Add some more culture to your life. And at this point, when you've got the Culture Corner, the Clutch Corner, and Feel the Heat, I'm not sure you could do a lot worse than that when it comes to Heat coverage on this network. So yeah, subscribe to
Cartagena. Culture Minutes, the podcast. Ethan, make us a shirt, bro. You gotta say the boy feeling good.
A shirt?
We need a shirt.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was really hoping he was gonna have a good game today.
Yes. Not Gad. You already talked. Ariel, you can talk about full court press, bro.
Oh yeah, full court press, man. Me, myself, Gadiel Cartagena, and Marco Romo love to get on here and talk about all things NBA. It's a general NBA show. You can find it on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel, as well as everywhere else where you consume your 5 on the Floor podcast. So, we'll talk about Ricky. How do you feel about Randall being okay? We might address that on Full Court Press. You never know. We've done a lot of Knicks talk. We've shown them some love. So I don't know if Ricky's tuned into that, but hopefully he has. Full Court Press NBA show. Myself, Gadiel Cartagena, Marco Romo. The next one will probably be on Wednesday, but we are yet to fully iron that out. I think that's when it's going to be, though, so make sure you check that out.
Sources tell me you are most likely correct.
We have the same sources.
I am.
Thank you. So thank you, Jennifer McPolin. I will make sure to convey your Mother's Day wishes to my wife. Thank you so much for those. Yeah, so I think we got all the shows. Did we? Oh, talk about the shoot around, Jonathan Ramakan.
Well, the shoot around is a 180-second or less video that's going to appear on the timeline of Gad or Ariel. And what they do is they basically give you kind of a quick rundown of the game that we're going to play later in the day. So before the game, you want a quick little rundown of just, what the Heat should be doing to win the game, maybe some trends coming into the game that we should look out for. These two guys will break it down at super speed. They literally are like 2 times speed on what you listen to. So they'll break it down for you real quick. So if the Heat do what they talk about, the Heat win the game.
Always.
Sure, yeah.
That's usually how that works out. Who cares? Thank you. Oh, Christian Cardus, bro.
Read it first. Don't.
Eggplants
out for Deadman.
Yeah,
eggplant salad.
Because he's a farmer.
Miami Fresh Market.
Yeah.
Get your fresh eggplant at Miami Grill.
All right. So I think we got all the show. Oh, the Clutch Corner. Whenever it happens, it happens. So thank you guys in the comments for making the show much more. Wait, I want to talk about one more thing before we close the show out. Let's talk about playoff implications. No, your feelings don't matter to me. Let's talk about playoff implications. Really quick, where do you guys believe that we finish now that we've seen this? Jonathan Ramakan, really quickly.
I'm going to say 4th seed, man. I think the Hawks fall off, the Knicks fall off, and we take that leap.
Gadiel Cartagena?
5th seed.
Ariel Latias?
5 seed. He'd have a harder remaining schedule. The Hawks have an easier one. The Knicks are going to lose the rest of their games.
Ricky J. Mark?
Play in.
Boo!
Ricky, bro, I've been saying to play in for a couple of weeks now. And I still have not changed. I think that after we beat these Celtics these 2 times, we might lose the rest of the games in the season.
That means no play-in.
That would be 6th seed. It'd be the 6th seed.
That's at worst?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If they win both games, they're guaranteed the 6th seed at least.
Yes, this game against Boston counts for 2 because we get the tiebreaker and we'd be up 3 whole games on them.
Oh!
And we only have 3 games left.
Well,
the boy feeling good.
The boy feeling, hey!
The boy's feeling 6th seed.
If we end the playoffs, we're going to be the 5 seed. Like that's how I feel. If we're in the playoffs, we're the 5 seed. Alana Tahauer, come at me, bro. So thank you guys in the comments as always for making the show much more fun than it would have been without you. Thank you to my man Jonathan Ramlakan, Ricky J. Mark, Gadiel Cartagena, Ariel Latias, Jonathan Ramlakan again for producing, along with our guy Adam Barat who snuck in for a little while. We'll see you guys next game. Play the video, Jonathan. Wrong video.
Nixon said.